For the last week and a half, NC State basketball has been chumming the waters. And on Wednesday, Amity Island, the ACC, and soon to be the rest of the country has found out they're going to need a bigger boat. NC State has their great white shark.
You are Locked On Wolfpack, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, Wolfpack Nation? It's time to get locked in with Locked On. Thanks for making Locked On Wolfpack your first, or in some cases, your second listen of each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This obviously is a live show, but it will also serve as our Thursday episode. So hello to all of you that are watching on Thursday. Hopefully you didn't miss the news. If you are watching on Thursday, NC State and McNeese State head coach Will Wade have verbally, keyword, verbally agreed to an agreement, that Will Wade will be the 21st head coach in NC State men's basketball history. Before we get into that, our Wednesday live show is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. As always, I'm Grayson Boone, joined by former Wolfpack defensive tackle Kenton Gibbs. Kenton, we got our man. We got our great white shark, verbally or allegedly, I guess I should say. A lot of people, I want to clear the air on something here. This is 99% done. It's not 100% until McNeese loses in the tournament. So we still have to hope and pray that they don't go to the Final Four. I hope I did not jinx them to all you know what by saying that, but this is 99% done. We are on now the 1 yard line. Jalen Hurts is our quarterback, and Jason Kelsey is at center. That's how confident the NC State should be that this is going to be a done deal. Kenton, hashtag Wade to State.
Well, don't forget who told you first. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking, Wolfpack Nation. Don't forget when everybody else was all confused. Oh, we don't know if it's this guy. We don't know if it's that guy. Oh, we don't know. Don't forget who specifically said, hey, Boo Corrigan is in his office doing the Anthony Mackie face. He's good. You know, we good here.
I forgot about the Mackie face.
Don't forget who let you know first. Oh. Hey, this is going in the direction that Wolfpack fans are going to like. But in all seriousness, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, hey, I mean, yes, this was a terribly kept secret, if you could say that, but this is very exciting, man. This is exciting times for the Wolfpack. And again, I say to anybody, I'm sure this is going to work out, right? I'm sure Will Wade is going to get it done because he's Will Wade. He's got it done everywhere. But here's my thing more than anything else. When people say, well, what if it doesn't work out? Again, this is the big swing. This is the big chop. You can no longer say, hey, the folks in this administration don't truly care. They don't really have a problem or they have a sitting on their hands thing going on. No. This is clear that folks are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Folks are saying, you know what? Mediocrity ain't enough. You know what? Middle of the road ain't enough. You know what? One-off of success ain't enough. We expect sustained success. We are aiming for sustained success. And if we are coming short of that, there is a problem.
This is exactly what we've all been waiting for decades. And this is why I made the comparison, not exactly a comparison, but I said that Will Wade is the closest personality type to Jim Valvano since Jim Valvano. We have sought after this type of coach with this type of personality and this type of hunger to be great and kind of not care what anyone else has to say about you, what anyone else thinks about you. You're going to do it your way. Everyone else is going to get out of your way, and you're going to win at all costs. We have waited for a guy like this, for Will Wade to enter this program and give us this boost. What you are going to see for NC State's fan base rallying around each other, it's probably going to feel a little bit like last March did. I don't think that's an exaggeration at all. You're going to feel that same buzz. And I've seen people that are current students. I've seen people that are in their elder years at this point. They are over the moon about a hire like this one. Everyone feels exactly the same way, that finally we're taking that big swing, like Kenton just said there. We're finally trying to knock one over the fence. We're not settling for singles and doubles and hoping we can get them in scoring position and knock them in. No. We're uppercutting this thing. We want the upward swing velocity, swing angle. We want to hit one out. Boo Corrigan, and we'll talk plenty about him here in the next couple minutes. He just hit one out. This is his legacy hire. A lot of people, the apology should be just as loud as the disrespect was. I'll save the rest for later. Unbelievable job to get this done, to listen and truly feel the way the fan base wanted this thing to go, the direction that we wanted in our next coach, to feel the collective, One-Pack NIL. They have been phenomenal through this. The amount of signups and the buzz generated there. I'm sure that's only getting started now that this thing is 99% official. NC State is buzzing right now, and it feels so good to be the team that's buzzing. We've seen other teams be, amped about their hires, whether, I can't even think of names right now because I'm so jazzed, but you get what I'm saying here. We've seen it happen to everyone else. And we sit here for years saying, Lord, I've seen what you've done for others. Please one day be in the red and white. Last year we got the run. This year we get the home run coach. It's somewhat still hard to believe because we have still that NC State PTSD. We've been burned by coaches in the past that you thought they were inside the 5-yard line and the deal was close to being done. Didn't end up getting done. This, maybe I shouldn't say it. This doesn't feel like one of those situations. McNeese still has to lose, and I think that's where my hesitancy lies. I'm going to be so pissed if Clemson folds, but McNeese still has to lose. But as soon as that's done, this looks like a done deal. And many of you saw online on Twitter on Wednesday the pregame March Madness press conference that Will Wade was doing. I can't remember the exact name of the reporter. I think it was Adam Zagoria. He asked Will Wade, have you or your agent or anyone on your side of things been in contact with NC State? And he sits there and says, yes. And then he smirks. And right there, sold. I'm in. I was already in. But you see the personality just bleed through him immediately. He couldn't hide the excitement that he has been talking to NC State. He's excited about talking to NC State. And I'm sure he doesn't feel like he has one foot out the door because he still has a job to do. But it's hard to read anything other than excitement on his face there. So a lot of people are talking about the timing of when this is coming out. I'll save that for later too. I have that on the side of the screen here. So it's just a great time to be an NC State fan. And some of the national pundits I've seen, who's the guy? Brad Crawford, who said last week, Will Wade's not going to go to NC State. He's weighing his options. I saw he got hit with Old Takes Exposed already. So the internet is in the Wolfpack's favor right now. I saw Jeff Goodman, who's not exactly a fan of NC State. We're not exactly a fan of his, but he said there will be no better marriage than Will State and the NC State fan base. And what's funny about that is he probably meant it as a slight, but it's 100% true. That's exactly what I talked about earlier in this week. That personality match is a direct 100% match. Will Wade has that edge to him that NC State wants to have. We want to be the big dog on the block. When you see the blue schools sit there and laugh at us, oh, you didn't make the ACC tournament. Okay, we'll see y'all soon. We got our big dog now. We'll see y'all soon. So I am overjoyed. Anyone listening to this or watching this, or if you saw the news on Wednesday, get excited about this. I don't think we can really fully comprehend on just this show how big of a deal this is. I'm 29 years old. This is the biggest hire of my lifetime. I would say across all sports. This is the biggest hire since I have been alive. This is the biggest name. We have gone out, identified our top target, and then landed said top target. We've never done that before. Not since I've been around. So I'm overjoyed. I don't want to babble on forever. Kenton, I'll hand you the reins here.
I'm going to tell you something. This is Boo's legacy hire for now.
Oh,
for
hey
now.
now.
For now. Listen, it's just the reality of where we are. And I want to be completely honest and transparent about this, right? We all know Elliott Avon is getting up there. We all know he's not going to coach for 10, 15 more years. Most likely not. Again, Coach Avon, if you hear this, you got the right to coach as long as you want. I just don't think you're going to want to do it for 10 to 15 more years. And Lord knows how long Boo Corrigan's going to be here as the AD. Who knows? And obviously, the elephant in the room that, we don't want to talk about, we kind of got to talk about it. Dave Doran's seat is not exactly the coldest in America right now. So it's a legacy hire for now, But more so than it being a legacy hire, this hire means the standards in Raleigh hit different. This means we are no longer, get rid of that lovable loser syndrome. Get rid of that, a blind squirrel found a nut somewhere out there. I guess we're all right. We don't need to do anything else. We can sit on our hands. It's not enough anymore in Raleigh. That is what this signifies to me. And to me, that's the most important part. You don't build excellence by accident. Excellence does not happen by accident. Winning does not happen by accident. Banners, championships, none of it comes by accident. The reason that those things come is through very meticulous and dedicated efforts. It comes through small moments like saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do to provide Team X, Y, and Z to be the best. It comes through big moments like saying, you know what? I appreciate you for your Final Four run last year. This is untenable. You got to go. And then we're going to go get our guy. It comes through small and big moments. But one thing that can no longer be denied, one thing that can no longer be questioned, is Boo Corrigan about winning? Is he about championships? Is he about that action? Because clearly, very clearly, he is.
And we're going to get right into that in just a moment after I read this quick ad read from our sponsors. Our first live show and also Thursday sponsor is Monarch Money. You ever check your bank account and wonder, where the heck did all my money go? One-pack NIL is not certainly feeling that way right now. Between dining out, shopping online, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track sometimes. That's where Monarch Money comes into play, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place so you can stop managing your money and start building your wealth. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan your long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is now smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without all the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year. That's Monarch, like the butterfly, money, like the money.com, monarchmoney.com, using code LOCKEDONCollege for half off of your first year. Our second live sponsor / Thursday sponsor is Game Time. Imagine watching your favorite team live, feeling the energy of the crowd, witnessing unforgettable moments, and there's nothing like experiencing a big game in person. Many of us were able to say this last year during the big dance. Not so much this year, but we got better things to look forward to. But if you're looking to get tickets, there's a Raleigh regional, folks. March Madness is coming to Raleigh, and if you're in the market for tickets, it shouldn't be stressful. That's where Game Time comes in, making it easier than ever to grab last-minute seats at unbeatable prices. The curation of Game Time picks makes it easier to find better value for tickets to sports, concerts, comedy, theater, you name it. I just checked the Game Time app, and there are amazing deals for some of these tickets in Raleigh on some huge matchups coming up. Also, using their super deals, you can get the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Not 100, 110. This gives you peace of mind with seat views that you can buy or see before you buy, no surprise fees, and the lowest price guarantee. You can book with total confidence. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. That's Locked On College, LOCKEDONCOLLEGE, Locked On College for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, middle portion of our live show / Thursday podcast. I want to transition this into a conversation about Boo Corrigan. And we've been kind of building this up already so we could talk about it when this announcement does in fact come out, which verbally it came out today. Boo Corrigan deserves a lot, and I mean a lot, more respect from NC State fans. And again, I've told you before, I understand where some of the animosity comes from. We get kicked out of Omaha in 2021 at 2 a.m. in the morning, and you never really got like full visibility on Boo Corrigan's thoughts. There was no, angry public statement. There's nothing on social media. And we've often said that it feels like a lot of the fan base is trying to compare him to Debbie Yow, because Debbie Yow is going to be the first person on Twitter saying, no, NC State's being wronged. We beat XYZ. We should be in this championship series. You are not following the rules the way you think that you're following the rules, and this is a load of baloney. Boo Corrigan's not quite that type of personality. He likes to play things closer to the vest. But I urge to you, that does not mean he doesn't care. That does not mean he's not in those rooms vying for the best possible outcome for NC State. And I also referenced the bowl game, the Holiday Bowl that got canned because UCLA was cowards about it. Boo Corrigan was there, and I saw him emotional. There's a, One with Pack. I can't remember the name of the documentary series they do, but he was emotional, tears in his eyes that he cannot find another opponent for NC State to try and get their 10th win. Don't tell me this man doesn't care. I was in D.C. last year for the ACC Tournament Championship. Played the Dirty Foot Club, beat the Dirty Foot Club. I saw tears on that man's face amongst a million of my own, because you know how I am. Don't tell me that man doesn't care. This hire for Boo Corrigan, we've been saying it all week up until this point. It was his legacy hire. It now is his legacy hire, and he landed his great white shark.
You know, I just want to say one thing, okay? Maybe it was just me. Maybe I had undue faith in Boo, but I had a feeling all along this is how it was going to end. Literally, from the first leaks that I was hearing, hey, we're in serious talks with Will Wade. I said, well, how serious? And I heard right away, he's our guy, and everybody was on board. By the way, the reports that Boo wanted somebody else, completely false. I did not want to say anything about it. Boo wanted Will Wade too from the jump. So the idea that there was like these competing situations and it was like, okay, fine, I'm going to give y'all what y'all want because this is what the boosters want. That's not the case. I'm telling you all right now, as somebody who has been covering this team for a while, as somebody who's been a part of Wolfpack Nation in terms of wearing the red and white, this is a moment where, again, Boo Corrigan, to me, has done a fine job. Even before this hire, he's done a fine job. To me, I'm always going to trust people and believe in people. And I get it. I have not been a member of Wolfpack Nation as long as some members. I get it. Some people have watched years, decades of fecklessness, of uselessness, of coaches that are just, what are these guys? I get it. I understand that. When I looked at what Boo has done here, I did not at all get the feeling that he's not a guy that's he's not willing to do what it takes to get things like this over the finish line. I never got that feeling from him. I never sat there in doubt and disbelief, was like, oh man, here we go. Because the entire time I had a feeling, you know what? If I'm hearing from sources very close to this thing, that's our guy and we're doing everything we can to go get him, then that's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. So again, Boo Corrigan needs some respect after this one. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you, what he does going forward here, he can further cement his legacy as one of, if not the greatest athletic director in NC State history. Now, I know people are going to say that's big talk for Will Wade to not have coached the game here. But again, Will Wade has had success everywhere he's been. And I want to go back to what Grayson said about Goodman with this is a perfect marriage. Guess what? There's a lid for every pot, baby. Regardless of what your pot looks like, regardless of if it's one of the $300 stainless steel joint, or regardless of whether it's the Walmart pot that, you know, that thing ain't good beyond a year without being all scratched up and bruised up. It don't damn matter. If that's our lid, that's our lid. We gonna rock out. If we're his pot, we're his pot, and we gonna rock out. I don't care what you think or what you mean about this. Boo Corrigan saw that vision as well. He saw this is a guy that fits. He fits. He's fiery. He's passionate. He's willing to do it. And again, he's got that showman in him to get the NIL going and all that. But guess what? Nobody, in the words of, I believe it was Monica, nobody's perfect, baby, but you're perfect for me. Will Wade, you're perfect for us. Come on down.
And with Will Wade living in Louisiana the last couple of years, he's bringing some spice with him. We're going to make some gumbo, baby. We're making some good stuff in our pot. We're going to get cooking real quick. Keep the gumbo out of Central North Carolina. Keep that out of here. With all due respect. We don't need to do it. We don't need to do it. No, but, you know, staying on the topic of Boo Corrigan here, not only is this a monstrous hire, and it is the one the fan base wanted, the Burnerverse wanted. Shout out to the Burnerverse. I'll say this. I don't think it's nothing that the Burnerverse was so unbelievably deafening online that the powers that be at NC State, they take notice of those type of things. You might not think it is as relevant sometimes as it feels. I mean, I got to hand it to them. They were consistent all the way from 2 Sundays ago about who they wanted, when they wanted him, how bad they wanted him to be here. That stuff doesn't go unnoticed. And I'm not saying the Burnerverse was the overwhelming reason that Will Wade is coming to State, but it's not nothing either. I would guarantee you that Will Wade and probably his agent, and I'm sure I would say even like the players on McNeese State currently, they've probably seen NC State in their mentions. The Burners making their memes, and Gunnar Rivers Burners doing unbelievable work in editing. I saw he did another one with the Jim Valvano, Do You Believe in Dreams? Whew, got me going. They've seen all that stuff. So I would have to imagine that both sides are understanding how badly that everyone wanted to get this done. And so for Boo Corrigan to get on a plane, go down to Houston, meet in secret, even though it wasn't a very well-kept secret, everybody was finding out about this thing. Not just that meeting, but essentially the whole saga here. He got the job done. He is 2 seconds away from landing the plane here. Go Clemson on Thursday. I'm still not doing it. Boo Corrigan, this is the legacy hire. And there's been a lot of gripes about him not about him not making a move, not firing Keats earlier, not firing Coach Doran earlier. Anyone that says anything about Avent just doesn't know ball. I've been very clear about that, but he hasn't had to make a big hire yet. And I understand the frustration with both Doran and Keats. I mean, Keats, if not for the run last year, he was gone. I've heard that Boo Corrigan already had candidates lined up, and he already had a pretty good idea on who it was going to be, and it wouldn't have been Will Wade. So maybe we have to thank Michael O'Connell for last year's run, and now currently Will Wade, because we wouldn't have him now if we didn't go on that run. Don't lose my train of thought here. Oh, Boo Corrigan. Nope, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that, Kenton?
I have no clue where you're going with it. But what I can say here is this seems like the stars aligned for everything to work out perfectly. It really does. You know, I tell people all the time, life isn't just about always being the fastest, the first, all that. Sometimes it's about being in proper alignment to have certain things happen. And like you said, Grayson, if Michael O'Connell doesn't hit that shot, right? If Michael O'Connell doesn't play great against Louisville to help on that comeback, right? You lose Keats, you got to hire somebody else. Will Wade is not available during your coaching search. So, you know, you see this situation pop up like this, and you have to say everything happened as it should have. Everything was perfectly aligned for this team to go exactly where they were supposed to.
All right, I got my thought back. What I was trying to say was Boo was in a tough spot that you couldn't get rid of Keats last year. He went on the run. I think the same can be kind of said for Doran, because coming out of 2023, which was a big crucial year for him, he found a way to go 9-3 with 2 different quarterbacks. The starting quarterback that was MJ Morris, literally quit in the middle of the season, leaves, still finds a way to win 9 games. And in that season, he became the all-time winningest coach at NC State. How do you fire a guy after a season like that when you went 9-3? That would be crazy. Despite how you feel about Doran, it would be crazy to fire a coach that goes 9-3, because let's be honest, folks, that's a really good season at NC State historically. Now, we're trying to do better than that, but historically speaking, 9-3 is a good year.
But not even just for NC State. For most Power 5 schools,
most
I say this all the time. There is quite literally 10 jobs in America where 9 wins is not enough. And I mean a persistent 9 wins is not enough. For everybody else, for 90% of the rest of America out there, 9 wins a year will get you a statue. 9 wins a year will get you a statue. So I 1,000% agree. Sorry to cut you off there, Grace.
No, you're good. So you definitely couldn't get rid of him after 23. Now, here's where it gets interesting, I think, for Doran, and not to change the conversation away from the basketball news right here, but 6-6 last year was supposedly the best team that you would ever have so far. I think that gets you on the hot seat. And so Boo Corrigan, to Kenton's point, perhaps this is not the last legacy hire that we're going to see in as many years. And I can't remember who I commented back to, but I did say in the comments somewhat recently, like I'd say within the last 2 weeks, by 2027, I expect a new coach in basketball, football, and baseball. And we are about to do number 1 on the list, which is basketball. So there is change coming for NC State. And on Wednesday, you got the verbal agreement of the first one. Boo Corrigan went out and got his guy. And like I said before, the apologies should be just as loud as the disrespect was. Now, Will Wade still has to get here and succeed. I understand that too. But Don't say that Boo Corrigan doesn't care. He has shown you he cares. Even the statement that he put out in the middle of the football season, I think it was right after we lost to Wake Forest. He put out that long statement that was like, Wolfpack Nation, we appreciate you. You're showing up. That was indirectly him saying, I know things are not going well right now. I see everyone's pissed. We're disappointed in the coach, the team, and I'm understanding all that. An AD that doesn't care, you don't get that statement from him. I promise you he cares. So I'm very proud of Boo. I'm very proud of the collective One Pack NIL. Crushed it. We can't do things like this unless the fan base buys into a collective that's on fire right now.
Absolutely.
And like I said, all the contributions that rolled in to One Pack the last week and a half, I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've heard whispers that their goal is to hit like $1 million in about a week plus's time. I think they're well on their way. With this news coming on Wednesday, I'd be shocked if they don't hit it. This fan base has shown us all time and time again, the passion is unmatched. And that's what this hire is about. It's about passion. It's about standards. It's about turning the corner and wanting more for yourself, not settling for mediocrity, but chasing higher success rates. NC State is doing that right now. You're watching it in real time. The mindset around NC State athletics and their success, you are currently witnessing a shift. And so I hope that people are witnessing this. Boo Corrigan is at the forefront of doing so. Before we get out of here, I'm going to read one more ad, and then I want to talk about the timing of all this.
Hold on. I just got to say one thing. Bradley,
yeah.
We love you. We love all of Wolfpack Nation that's in here. But Boo making Debbie look bad for those past 2 coaching searches. All right, hold on. Let's not rewrite history now. Just because we're excited about this moment, let's not. You hired the winningest coach in football history and the coach that took you to the Final Four. Am I saying that she nailed 2 home runs that, put you in a perpetual success for the next 20 years? No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying she set us on the right path and trajectory. We have to be honest about that and acknowledging, even if Boo does get a football coach that gets us to a perennial 11 win, like we're at where Clemson is level. All right, well, I'm lying. If he gets us a football coach that gets us there and Will Wade does what everybody thinks he's going to do, sure, he blew Debbie out the water. But even then, you'd have to be honest about the fact that Debbie still got us on the right path. Again, it's the old saying of Tennessee won the national championship with T. Martin, not Peyton Manning. Never forget that. Peyton put them on the right path, and T was there at the right moment and the right time. This is what I mean about it. It's not always about being the best, the fast, the biggest, the strongest. Sometimes being in the right position at the right moment. Debbie was hiring a basketball coach that was going to be under penalty for 5 years or so, into the triangle where you were going to have to be coaching against Roy and Kay. That was here. Those were all things that existed. So, again, great hire by Boo, but we don't got to rewrite history now. Debbie still did her thing.
Yeah, coming up next, we're going to get into some of the timing of all this and how it continues to work out in the Wolfpack's favor. This comes after a quick word from our sponsors. Our third live show ad read and also Thursday ad read is 5 Hour Energy. It probably looks like I'm on one right now. This is just pure adrenaline. Daylight savings has snuck up on all of us again, and if you're feeling like you lost an hour of sleep, 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need just a little bit of a boost to power through. Whether you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, like myself, or squeezing in a round of golf after work, just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5 Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you so need it. I've been staying up late watching conference tournaments. I'm about to turn the clock and do it some more with some NCAA tournament watching here on, tomorrow, Thursday. 5 Hour Energy will help me stay alert, stay awake, and hopefully hit all of my bets in a day. With longer days, I love getting outside for a hike. I do. Or a run sometimes, believe it or not. Tropical Burst is my favorite when I choose to do so. Whether I'm at a game or traveling, 5 Hour Energy is easy to grab and always keeps me refreshed. Head on over to 5hourenergy.com and find over 15 different flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your front door. If you need one now, grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're literally everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized with 5 Hour Energy. All right, last couple minutes here of our Wednesday evening live show, announcing the celebration, 99%, let me still be clear about that, allegedly, of the hiring of Will Wade as our next men's basketball coach. I want to talk about the timing of some of this because we talked about how important it was for NC State to kind of get ahead of the 8 ball. We were one of the first teams, if not the first team, I think maybe Indiana because Mike Woodson announced later in the season, one of the top teams early to get in on the coaching search. We announced that Keats would not be returning the Sunday morning after our last debacle, the regular season game at Miami. So you put yourself ahead. And then right after that, you see some of the names start swirling around. And Will Wade was one of those. And perhaps that was a very advantageous in this process to identify who you wanted early. It really gives you the impression that Boo's been at this for more time than you might think he was. But getting ahead here, it lets you kind of see the playing field. You get to visualize what jobs might come open, what you anticipate will change, and all the guys that you want to identify that are leading candidates for this job. And I really think that helped NC State. But now, with the NCAA tournament due to tip off the opening round on Thursday, this announcement comes the day before. And this is one day before McNeese still has to play a game. It's against Clemson, which is Will Wade's alma mater. And I saw some buzz about, well, this is coming from people that are NC State fans who probably just wanted to throw shade anyway, but they're like, oh, this is a grimy move by NC State to announce this right before he has a job to do. Let me tell you something. I've already referenced that press conference that Will Wade had where they asked him straight up, have you had any contact with NC State? And he said yes, with a poop-eating grin on his face immediately after that. If I'm Will Wade and I don't want that out, I'd say something along the lines of, I'm focused on my team. I'll address anything else after our season. But right now, I'm here with McNeese. I'm the head coach of McNeese, and that's all I'm focused on right now. He didn't do that, did he? So clearly it doesn't bother him at all that his name is being floated around with NC State. There's obvious connection. I'm sure he knows that we know what's been going on behind the scenes. And again, I want to reference something I read in an article that Will Wade had said previously. He said that he's always overwhelmingly transparent with his players. I'm talking in January of this season, he was already prepping them for the idea that he would be moving on after this season was over. And I also remember, what was it? There's a quote in a press conference. I don't remember when that was, but he said he was speaking to the AD, which is Heath Schroyer, who had a hand in Godfrey coming to State, ironically enough. But he told Schroyer that this was going to be a 2-year job for him. Will Wade at McNeese State was going to be a 2-year job, and he was a man of his word. So he's clearly about transparency. And if that is the case, this is not a shock to his players. And if that's the case, this is not something that's going to derail their game on Thursday. This is not something that's catching everyone by surprise. It's not something that's going to be an overwhelming, media storm to detract the players from the job that they have to do on Thursday. So I don't want to hear any of that. Will Wade was clear about this. He was transparent about this. And I already love that about him. And I mean, amongst everything else, I can't wait for his opening press conference, which is rumored to be next Tuesday. He's not only going to crush it, but he's probably going to wow you with more transparency. He's going to tell you exactly what he wants to do, how he plans to do it, and then he's going to execute it by doing it exactly, how he wants to do it. So I always appreciated his transparency. I was going to make a joke about his FBI stuff, so I won't do that. Anyway, he's very transparent with his players. So don't get caught up in national pundits trying to say that NC State's making a dirty move or they're trying to steal the thunder from anyone else. They're not doing that. NC State's doing exactly what they need to be doing, getting ahead of the 8 ball, identifying their top target, and landing their top target. This has no bearing on what happens on Thursday, but we do need Clemson to win.
I don't care. I don't care. What are we even doing here? I mean, all of this stuff that we have seen, I want people to think about what NC State's big scandals have been, per se, right? In terms of our athletics program. Even if you go back to the days of Jimmy V, players were selling their stuff. And apparently Jimmy V is a terrible person for not making sure that everybody's stuff was accounted for after he gave it to them. Oh man, I'm sure every coach in America, if you ask them, hey, where's your player's gear at right now? Where's the pair of shoes or where's the shirt you get? No. What's been the thing between now and then, Grayson. I don't remember any things of the Wolfpack doing anything shady or underhanded in terms of sports. Do you? I remember a ref saying 15 yards for giving them the business, whatever that means. Huh.
I have zero recollection of anyone by the name of Dennis Smith. Off my radar. No.
Oh, okay. Even if we include that one, right? Oh, the Dennis Smith thing. Did we not see our rivals also have something like that happen with Marvin Alston in some type of boat that all of a sudden a bunch of players were ineligible for? Like, what are we doing here? What are we? Oh boy. They announced that and by the way, can we all acknowledge this is not Boo Corrigan announcing this? This is a bunch of people who are, let's be honest, Grayson and I, at this point, our sources know that we are going to sit on information until it's public if we're told we cannot share. However, other folks get paid a lot more than us to do sports journalism. So they're going to do whatever the hell they can to get the clip. I'm not mad at them. I don't blame them. Cool.
Yeah.
This is the big scandal? Did we have a 20-year literacy scandal going or something like that? What are we doing here? Oh, what a terrible group of guys. Some journalist reported something that everybody knew was happening. Who cares, bro? Yeah. I don't give a damn. And guess what? You want to know what the funnest thing about all this is? One of the teams that produced the most scandals ever also has the most rings ever. So nobody gives a damn. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody, when you think about Tom Brady, you're not like, oh, the Deflategate, the cell phone, the Spygate, and da-da-da. 6 rings. 6. That's where you, or is it 7? Do you have 6 or 7?
I think he had 6 with New England. And he won the 7th with TB.
Yeah, so that's what it is. That's what it is. Nobody is sitting up here saying, oh my God, that's what they'll be remembered for. No, they'll be remembered for having a parade every other year when Tom was the quarterback. So if Will Wade comes here and everybody's like, but remember the time that NC State got a 12 seed eliminated on the first day? Man, kiss my ass. I don't care. I don't give a damn. David Locke, if you want to find me for that, please don't. We don't get paid enough. Don't do it. No, I'm just joking. But seriously, like, come on, man. Knock it off.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with this. For everything that Kenton just said, the reasons I've already outlined, this is a non-issue. And, you know, on the fact of it being leaked and regardless of who's leaking it, the only reason I tweeted anything from Locked on Wolfpack was I got permission to do so from the people that have been telling us what's going on. And B, I saw it basically already started online. So I did one of these. I kind of, all right, well, here we go. So I hit send.
The whole class talking, I'm going to talk too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my transparency to you. That's why I hit send today. But this has been not a very well kept secret, obviously. So Everyone's been kind of knowing where this direction has been going. We've talked about the lack of buzz to Will Wade to legitimately anywhere else. We spent so much time worried about Indiana. Indiana just decided to hire a guy after like a day's time when DeVries announced that he was going to jet from West Virginia out to Indiana. So they had that covered. I saw Brownell actually just signed another extension. So he is super locked in. I think that was like another 6 years or something like that. So even if we didn't say anything, even if the news never broke, everyone that can read the tea leaves would be reading the tea leaves right now. Everything is showing you Will Wade is going to be our guy. And again, we still need McNeese to lose. This is not, this is 99% done. We're on the 1 yard line. All we need is actually Clemson, ironically enough, to punch this thing in for us. This is a tush push. Never mind. I don't want to use that reference, but we're on the 1. It's almost done. All we need is Clemson to beat McNeese. And honestly, even if McNeese beats Clemson, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I just have PTSD from the Shaka Smart thing. We don't want McNeese to go to the Final Four, and then here comes Texas with their 10-gallon hats, and then chaos breaks loose at the 11th hour. I don't see that happening. I think this is a done deal, but you should be excited about this. So regardless on when it's coming out, which is, the day before the NCAA tournament, it's fine. If Will Wade had a problem with it, you wouldn't be hearing about it. He doesn't have a problem with it. So everything is fine. Everything is fine. NC State should be happy. Like I said before, celebrate this. This is the second March in a row that we get to be elated. We have not been able to say that very often. Please sit in that for just 10 minutes and understand NC State is doing something exciting again. And it's not in the tournament. We wish it was, but this is almost like the next best thing. Maybe that's a stretch. You get what I mean. So Will Wade, verbal agreement to NC State pending now once their season is over, hopefully tomorrow on Thursday. This is great. Home run hire for Boo Corrigan, legacy hire for Boo Corrigan. We're over the moon, and you should be too. Kenton, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Again, enjoy it, celebrate it, and Will Wade, come on, do your thing, brother. Come do your thing. Come make this team what you have done to every other stop that you have been, where all of a sudden they turn into dynamos. You've got the resources. You've got the hotbed of talent, right? Again, you're in the hoop state. Come on, Will. Come on. You can pay for it legally now. You know what I mean? It's right there for you. Go on and get you the best. Go on and get you the GOATs. Go on and get us some guys that, we're going to be hanging their jerseys up in the rafters next to Skywalker. Go on and get us some guys like that. We are here. We are prepared for it. Let's see it.
This was the hire that we have waited for 40 years to land. Will Wade on Tobacco Road in the Triangle, absolute scenes. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts. The show, The Great White Shark, I hope that sticks because I think it's a phenomenal nickname. The Great White Shark is coming to Raleigh. That will do it for us for our Wednesday evening live show. Thank you all so much for joining us. It also serves as your Thursday podcast episode. So if you're catching us on Thursday, hello. March Madness is here. Enjoy it. That'll do it for us here. Be sure to hit that like button. Drop your comments in the comment box. Let's try and set a record. The most comments we've ever had on a show. What better reason than Will Wade potentially 99% coming to Raleigh? Fill that comment box with each and every one of your thoughts. Mash that subscribe button if you have not already. We'll see you on Friday for more. And until then, go Pack.
Go Pack.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the Bracket Breakdown. Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.